recognize Mr. Saunderson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move second reading of Bill 22, an act to proclaim Ontario University Athletics Week.
Mr. Saunderson has moved second reading of Bill 22, an act to proclaim Ontario University Athletics Week. Pursuant to Standing Order 100, the member has 12 minutes for his presentation.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and it is a pleasure to rise in the House today on behalf of the hardworking families of Simcoe Grey to speak to my private member's bill, Bill 22. And if passed, Speaker, this bill will declare the first week of October each year as the Ontario University Athletics Week to recognize the incredible athletes and coaches that compete across our great province in university athletics. And as I start, Madam Speaker, I'd like to draw attention to the gallery and welcome my mother and my wife. My mother was a varsity athlete at the University of Toronto. She played varsity basketball for 3 years and was part of a team that won the provincial championship. My wife, Susie, was a varsity athlete at the University of Western Ontario, competing for 3 years in the sport of cross-country skiing, and that is, in fact, how we met. So all the good things that come from sport. And I also want to mention my father, Bill Saunderson, at home. He was an MPP in this House in 1995, an avid athlete who was a member of the Trinity College hockey team that won the Jennings Cup, Intramural Cup at U of T in 1955. Wow. So as you can see, Speaker, I come from a family of athletes who have enjoyed the benefits of university sport in Ontario. And Speaker, our athletes and coaches have a great story to tell. A story about their dedication, their commitment, and their journey, a journey of learning and personal growth wherever that may take them. And today, I'd like to share some stories about athletes that I know and their accomplishments and the opportunities that have changed their lives and rallied their communities, their universities, and in many cases, their country. Our incredible university athletes have done remarkable things on the ice, on the water, in the water, on the courts, and on the fields across this great province. And they have done these remarkable things, Madam Speaker, locally, provincially, nationally, and internationally, showing their incredible talent for all to see. And Speaker, Bill 22, if passed, will make Ontario the first jurisdiction in Canada to declare a week of recognition and celebration for our great university athletes. And I want to thank the Legislative Library for researching this for me. In preparing for Bill 22, Speaker, I have reached out to key stakeholders like the Ontario University Athletics, or OUA, and a number of member universities. And I want to share some of the feedback that I have received. From Gord Grace, who is the President and CAO of the Ontario University Athletics, he writes, and I quote, "I am writing to express our enthusiastic endorsement of your proposed private member's bill, which would proclaim the first week of October each year as Ontario University Athletics Week. This initiative, which honours both athletic excellence and academic achievement, strongly reflects the values of Ontario University athletics and the balanced pursuit of success that defines our student athletes. Across our 20-member universities, student athletes demonstrate unwavering commitment to their sport, their studies, and their communities. By providing a platform for each university to recognize student athletes who exemplify these values, the province of Ontario would be acknowledging the integral role of university sport in shaping future leaders and contributors to our society." End quote. And from Scott Barker, the Director of Athletics and Recreation at Ontario Tech University, one of our newer universities, he had this to say, and I quote, "Ontario Tech University is proud of our Ridgebacks and our vibrant athletics community. In 2024, with the help of the sport hosting funding from the province, we partnered with the City of Oshawa to host the 2024-25 Bruce Power Men's Soccer Canadian Championships Tournament. Sporting events bring people together, they unite us, and our campus was buzzing with excitement. The successful event was a great example of the impact that university athletics has on community and our student athletes. University athletics empower students to pursue studies and athletics hand in hand while pursuing their life goals. This bill, proclaiming the first week of October as University Athletics Week in Ontario, is an opportunity to celebrate the hard work and dedication of student athletes and showcase the impacts of a strong university athletics community." And I end quote. And Speaker, I'd like to share some statistics about university athletes who have represented Canada at the Olympic Games. And these are statistics that I gained just by going online and looking at some of the member universities from the Ontario University Athletics. Western University has graduated over 130 Olympians. Queen's University, over 56 Olympians. U of T, over 300 Olympians. Ottawa University, over 40 Olympians. York University, over 42, Guelph, over 15, Brock University, over 50, Trent University, over 6, Wilfrid Laurier, over 6, and Waterloo University, over 10. And that comes to over 700 student athletes that have represented Canada at the Olympics, and that is only 10 of the member 20. And Speaker, these only cover athletes who have competed at the Olympics. It does not reflect athletes that have represented their universities at provincial and national championships, international competitions, including world championships. And I heard this from Ontario Tech University. 10 to 15 of their athletes have competed at the World University Games. 25 to 30 athletes have competed professionally after graduation. And 5 to 6 athletes were drafted into professional sport while still playing at the university. Carleton University has told me that they've graduated 17 professional soccer players and 17 international rugby players. Speaker, in our own caucus, the Minister of Sport was a university standout playing football for the Ottawa GGs and leading them to a Vanier Cup in 1975 before a Hall of Fame career in the CFL, winning 3 Grey Cups. In addition, our Minister of Labour, Immigration, Training and Skills and Development played varsity soccer and goal for the Ottawa GGs for 4 seasons before coaching the team for 5 seasons. And I also know, in discussion with the MPP from Etobicoke Lakeshore prior to today, she was a varsity swimmer at university. So these athletes have gone on to excel in life and to employ their skills. And this is just an example of the type of incredible talent that they learn and understand from playing in our university sport. And Speaker, I want to thank Shannon Thornton from Ontario Tech University, who provided this very important statistic, which I think helps to frame the discussion today. And she tells me that 40% of the OTU student athletes are also academic All-Canadians, meaning that their grade point average is a minimum of A-. And this remarkable statistic, Speaker, I am told, is indicative of the academic performance of student athletes across all 20 of the member universities that form the OUA association. And this, Speaker, really underscores the importance of our university athletics program. They are not just developing and graduating champion athletes on the fields, they are developing and graduating champions off the field, who will make incredible contributions to our communities moving forward. Champions who are well-rounded, well-trained, and committed to excellence. Speaker, I'm a great believer that life imitates sport. So many of our youth learn their most important lifelong lessons through sport that equip them for their futures. And they learn while they learn these on the field, they employ these life lessons off the field, off the ice, and away from the arena for a lifetime to come. And some of these lessons, Madam Speaker, include, and I can say that I have learned these lessons as well, so that there are 2 types of work. There's teamwork and there's hard work. That you must believe in yourself. You have got what it takes, but it will take all that you got. It does not take talent to hustle. And we all know that through our campaigns, that hustle is one of the core foundations that get us here. We learn to celebrate our wins and to learn from our losses. Speaker, character is one of those intangibles that we often hear sportcasters speak about. In fact, we heard it last night when Edmonton won in overtime. It was great to hear. And it's said that sport is a crucible that builds character while revealing it at the same time. Characteristics like tenacity, persistence, resilience, dedication, and belief in yourself all come to the fore when we talk about character. And these are critical, if not essential, characteristics that equip each of these successful athletes for a successful life when their careers are over. And these are the characteristics that Ontario University athletes learn and develop and display during their careers. But most importantly, Madam Speaker, they learn and display those characteristics beyond the university and into their lives. I'd like to use my remaining time tonight, with a bit of indulgence from the House, to speak about my own experience at the Ontario University Athletics Program, because I was very much a beneficiary of the incredible athletics programs that we have. I attended the University of Western Ontario with the intention of playing either soccer or rugby, and I was injured, so I didn't get to the tryouts. What I did do is end up going to the rowing program because they told me it would get me in shape. And in fact, Madam Speaker, from the first time I walked into the pool during the winter at 4 in the morning to start training with Doc Fitzjames, I became addicted to the sport of rowing, and it opened many doors for me in my life. And I started Wet Western in 1981 and was a member of the senior B team in 1984. Decided to move out west so I could row full time. And I will never forget this experience. As I was being toured around the UBC campus, I met two novice athletes, two 19-year-old kids who were just starting to row. And their names were Mike Rasher and Kathleen Heddle. And both those athletes would go on to win gold medals as my teammates at the 1992 Barcelona Olympics. And Kathleen, in fact, would go on to become one of the most decorated summer athletes, winning 3 gold medals, I think, and a bronze. But unfortunately, we lost her to cancer. And during that time, Madam Speaker, I competed at the 1988 Olympics and the 1992 Olympics. And I can tell you that our performance in 1988 was much different than that in 1992. In 1998, Ben Johnson was caught for doping. And Canada came to the fore, and with the Dublin inquiry, we changed how sport operates. As a result of the Dublin inquiry, the international community and the IOC adopted the anti-doping regime. And by 1992, East and West Germanies had separated. The doping was being cracked down on. In 1988, we took a full team of 40 athletes to the Games, and we didn't come home with a single medal. In 1992, the men's and women's rowing team, which had only 6 crews and 20 athletes, came home with 3 gold medals and a bronze medal, in fact exceeding the total of the entire Canadian Olympic team in 1988 for gold medals. Just one team. And that, Madam Speaker, is how sport can change a life and improve a life and train our kids and our youth for future generations to come. Thank you.